Hi, I'm David Cobb. I have the honor of serving as the campaign manager for the Jill Stein Ajamu Baraka ticket for President and Vice President of the United States on the Green Party ticket. You know, I want to tell you why I chose to do this job. Because I grew up in poverty, that's why. Because I grew up in a house without a flush toilet in rural Texas. You know, as such, I have a deep understanding about how this economic system actually works. But I also want to be honest, folks, because I'm white, because I'm a man, because I'm mostly straight, I actually bought the rest of the creation myth about how this country worked. You see, I knew the economic system wasn't fair, but because of the privileges that I enjoy, I thought all the rest of the creation myth of this country was true. But as I grew up, I realized that the United States of America is not a functioning democratic republic. I grew up to realize that those inspiring words, "we the people," that begin our Constitution, they're uplifting words, but it's not actually true that we the people govern ourselves. I realized that there was a small ruling elite that actually governed us. And so I became a lawyer on the belief that I would be able to use a law degree to fight for justice. But then I realized that the legal system was actually being used by those same ruling elite to exploit, oppress, and justify the exploitation and oppression. I decided that we had to get involved in authentic electoral politics. You know, as a young person, I first got involved in politics in the 1980s during the apartheid movement. And of course, we weren't electing anybody to public office, but that was certainly politics. And as a result of that, I got involved in the work of the Jesse Jackson campaign for president in 1984 and 1988. Got involved in Jerry Brown's campaign in 1992. I learned a lot during those campaigns. I learned how to put myself under the leadership of people of color. I learned about international trade laws. I learned about campaigning. I learned about the intersectionality of race and gender and class. But I'll tell you another thing I learned. I learned that the Democratic Party's presidential primary is where real progressive politics goes to die. Because all of that enthusiasm, excitement, and energy that gets built up is ultimately squashed by the leadership of the Democratic Party. The rank and file members of the Democratic Party are infinitely more progressive than its leadership. But I want to remind you that a real political revolution cannot be won, W-O-N, in just one election. A real political revolution cannot be run, R-U-N, in just one election. A real political revolution is going to take a mass movement of ordinary people like you, joining together to build a mass movement. And that movement is going to have to be part of this election cycle and the next and the next. That's the reason that I am inviting you not just to support the Stein Baraka campaign, although I want you to do that, but I also want you to join the Green Party. I want you to register Green. I want you to get involved right now so that we can create the peaceful, just, democratic, and ecologically sustainable worlds we so richly deserve and so desperately need. Remember, it's in our hands.